is something that is traditional to their, that is original to their culture. It has been part of their community for as long as I've known, it's been there. It is part of their ritual where young boys become men. And this is part of their cultural practice as being Jahut.
Kami suku kaum Jahut ni, bermulanya kami menetap di kampung ni lah pada tahun 1940-an lah. Masa tu moyang saya lah. Bermula dari tahun itu sampailah ke hari ini. Kampung kami ni kekal. Kampung Pasu ni.
A lot of young people today, we say orang asli they know, but they don't know an orang asli. Okay, so there's limited exposure to who the orang asli is. The narrative of Malaysia is built on the three major ethnic communities and then Sabah and Sarawak, right? So we tend to group ourselves in that sort of ethnic configuration. That could be one reason. So we are not celebrating the diversity we have.
Saya berkhidmat sebagai ketua kampung dari 2006 sampai sekarang.
What appears to our naked eyes is indeed silat, but to our inner eyes it is a spell. These spells repels all the demons that threaten circumcised boys.
Pada hari permulaan tu ada dia panggil roh. Roh yang orang sudah meninggal. Dia panggil roh ni maksud dia suruh jaga. Dia suruh jaga persekitaran balai tu. Jadinya makhluk-makhluk halus yang dengan jin-jin pun dia tak boleh usik. Sebab dia dah panggil penunggu dia, penjaga dia. Tok Mudim ni dengan penghulu balai ni dia suruh buat hidangan lah. Hidangan makanan macam kita malam tadi kan. Lepas makan tu semua, baru dia bersiap-siap dah clear semua, barulah dia buat. Ada lagi satu upacara memerai pula.
And then these are the boys all dressed up like Malay. I mean, they're dressed up in very similar baju Melayu, except that they are wearing the orang asli sort of weave material that usually the Xiamen wears, but these boys are wearing it.
Memerai dance is featured to raise the spirits of the boys so that they don't feel afraid of the circumcision ritual.
pada pagi tadinya, pagi ni tadi, yang budak-budak kita nak sunat ni kena pergi ke sungai, kena berendam dulu.
The boys and their family circle the graves of their ancestors to pay their respects.
So what's important so much to me is not so much about having these rituals and cultures as they are, but having the things that allow them to stay as a cohesive, coherent society. Those are the things we need to protect. Things like the customary land. They have been on this land for many centuries as a community where they practice their customary belief systems on this landscape. We need to ensure that these lands remain within their rights, so to access, to own it, to manage it. We also need to ensure that the political structure that exists within the Jahut community, they have their headman system, their advisory committees and all. I think they call them mentris and all should remain. Their cultural leaders, their ritual leaders, like the person who does the circumcision, should remain in the society, because this holds the cohesion of the society, holds them together. When these things break down, then the society starts to fray and break and falls apart. So I think those are important. We are worried about this loss of culture, this watered down of culture, but then at the same time we've probably got to remember culture is something that's always adapting, always changing, right? Our own cultures have changed and adapted to the factors, to the influences that have come and affected them, right? So similarly with any orang Asli group, the Jahut included, you will find this cultural change. I think that is inevitable. The actual ritual, cultural aspects, those changes with time. But it shouldn't. What we should be more concerned about is the cohesion and the rights of the recognition of them as indigenous and the rights accorded to that recognition, which primarily lies with the right to the customary land and to having autonomy over dictating who they are. It is a religious requirement that has its logics in hygiene as well as, I guess, ideas of manhood. Maybe that is where there would be similarities, right? For them, it's also about boys becoming men. And it is also something celebrated at the community level. It is not something that you do hidden or private, right? It is something that is celebrated. Malays today, it's something that you do, it's a requirement of your religion, it's a requirement of your community, but it may not be such a public event. You go to the hospital, you get your circumcision done, right? Whereas here, it is still very much ritual. is still very much tradition. There's a term for the ritual expert that does the cutting and tok mudim kan. And then there's also the other ritual expert that does the, like you mentioned, the merenjes or something. They use the leaf, and these are going to be part of their Xiamen tradition. They don't just hold these titles, they actually have knowledge on what plants and what materials to use, that they then have the jampi that they can recite to bring this effect on you. So these ritual experts, whether it is a bomo, a puyang or a tok mudim, plays an important role in holding up the ritual.
Leaves that are dipped in the water that is beaten and applied to the body of the boys is also through a spell. This spell is likened to a prayer asking all demons and evil spirits to be kept away. The clay that was applied to their hands contained various types of spells that would be in the boys' bodies.
Then you have young men who want to go through this ritual, these young boys who want to go through this very public ritual that shows that transition. Okay, so rituals are there to transmit us or transfer us from one social category to the next, right? So from boys, they do this ritual, they heal, they become men. You know, so that kind of transition, right? This ritual, this meaning, as long as it continues to hold value in society, you have the institution to carry it through, gives that society its identity, and they must have that choice.
Macam itulah saya rasa harapan saya pada generasi baru lah. Pada generasi baru ni supaya dapatlah dia orang ikut perubahan semasa. Macam contohnya pemodernan.